Hey everybody, Matty here with Altcoin Buzz. Happy Hump Day. Hope you're having a great midweek. Now, you may never have heard of MicroStrategy. They're a company that all of a sudden out of nowhere has bought $250 million in Bitcoin. They sit at about a $1.4 billion valuation, and they've come out very vocally calling Bitcoin superior to cash. Again, a $250 million acquisition. We'll take a look at their strategy and what their leadership has to say. We'll also take a look at all of these all-time highs, and now that the market's kind of doing a little bit better, we'll remind you guys of just how far we still sit from some of the all-time highs for some of our favorite projects. Alexander Dreyfus and Chiliz is in the news, as is Kava Labs. Guys, if you like this kind of content, Bitcoin, blockchain, and cryptocurrency, be sure to like and subscribe. Let's first kick things off with a look at the markets. We're on CoinGecko.com here. Market's down 2.2% today, but it seems to be on the upswing a little bit. It was down a few hours ago as much as 5% or so. So I think we've cut back into some of those losses by about half. However, right now down 2.2% at the time of this recording. Total market cap $358.7 billion. Generally, projects down a few percentage points, 2 or 3 or 4 more in some cases. Chainlink here among the top 10 is the sole exception. It happens to be up 5.7% in these last 24 hours, currently sitting at $13.68. Pretty much everything else, as you can see, down 4, 5%, maybe even 6%. Bitcoin right now still in that middle zone between 11 and 12K, $11,457. That comes with a dominance of 59% flat. Here now on CoinDesk.com, let's take a look at MicroStrategy, which has just bought $250 million in Bitcoin, calling the cryptocurrency superior to cash. So they're a publicly traded business intelligence firm, and they just purchased over 21,000 Bitcoin on Tuesday, effectively pouring all $250 million of its planned inflation hedging funds into the digital currency. So they purchased this Bitcoin alongside an equivalent stock buyback in a Tuesday Securities and Exchange Commission filing, and called this a, quote, reasonable hedge against inflation. Quote, this investment reflects our beliefs that Bitcoin, as the world's most widely adopted cryptocurrency, is a dependable store of value and an alternative investment asset with more long-term appreciation potential than holding cash, said the CEO of MicroStrategy, Michael J. Saylor. Saylor talks about all the global circumstances that are currently working right now against fiat currency. We've talked about them before many times, in fact, on this channel. He cites them as being COVID-19, global quantitative easing measures, that's probably at the top of the list in my opinion, political and economic uncertainty, but also the technical and qualitative aspects that he said give Bitcoin strength. Quote, we find the global acceptance, brand recognition, ecosystem vitality, network dominance, architectural resilience, technical utility, and community ethos of Bitcoin to be persuasive evidence of its superiority as an asset class for those seeking a long-term store of value, Saylor said. And you know, the funny thing is that they've actually been rewarded. If you take a look at their valuation, they've shot up over the last day to up a 9.12%, which is pretty unbelievable for a publicly traded firm. So they're up 11.27 points, sitting currently at $134.89 per share. That's a crypto kind of world jump over the course of one day, and even by crypto standards, that's pretty good. So obviously, people are at least somewhat on board with this strategy that they're adopting. I think we've always said that we have to kind of get at least somewhat or quasi-mainstream organizations, pension funds, to get in behind Bitcoin with confidence. And this is one such example. I think it's absolutely going to set a precedent. So the company addressed the first prong, which called for returning a portion of its excess cash to shareholders when it announced today that it had launched a cash tender to offer $250 million of MicroStrategy's Class A common stock via a modified Dutch auction offer. Again, by acquiring over 21,000 Bitcoin, MicroStrategy addressed the other prong of its capital allocation strategy, which called for investing up to $250 million in one or more alternative investments or assets. Quote, our investment in Bitcoin is part of our new capital allocation strategy, which seeks to maximize long-term value for our shareholders. Again, that's courtesy of the CEO, Michael J. Saylor. This investment reflects our belief that Bitcoin, as the world's most widely adopted cryptocurrency, is a dependable store of value and an attractive investment asset with more long-term appreciation potential than holding cash. Since its inception over a decade ago, Bitcoin has emerged as a significant addition to the global financial system with characteristics that are useful to both individuals and institutions. MicroStrategy has recognized Bitcoin as a legitimate investment asset that can be superior to cash and accordingly has made Bitcoin the principal holding in its treasury reserve strategy. And again, this decision was partly informed by some of those variables that were being considered, those variables relating to the, global financial and geopolitical circumstances. Like I said, it's not very often that you see companies rewarded in this sense. So I think this is indirectly something that very much helps us in terms of mass adoption because this sets a precedent. I'm hoping that MicroStrategy is successful. It kind of depends on what kind of a time horizon we're looking at. Bitcoin could, as we've all seen, it could crash 10%, 15% over the course of 24 hours. That's not going to really make MicroStrategy look great, but over the course of years, I am very confident that they will come out ahead on this one. So very happy overall. Let us know your thoughts about this, guys, in the comments below, but very good news in my opinion. So guys, here on CoinGecko.com, we're taking a look at the total cryptocurrency market caps movement in these last 90 days. And it's been pretty favorable overall. We've seen a lot of positive activity. As you can see, about 3 months ago, so back in mid to late May, we were sitting at about $250 million total market cap, so somewhere in the $250 million range. As we just saw earlier, we're well above right now 350 billion. So that's an increase of $100 billion in a few short months, and it's just been a pretty steady increase. Actually, it's been nice to see. But again, as much as we're enjoying this for the time being, we happen to have observed a downtrend today. We don't really care about myopic single-day trends. However, I've expressed that in the past. It's all about zooming out and realizing that even though we're swinging back up, there's still actually quite a bit more ground that we can recover in terms of all-time highs. And we're reminded of that here by Alistair Milne on Twitter, at Alistair Milne. Make sure you're following. Distance from all-time highs. So dash, we are still 93.9% down from the all-time high. Bitcoin Cash, 92.9%. XRP, 92.3%. ZEC, 89.9%. ADA, 89.2%. EOS, 86.7%. LTC, 84.5%. XMR, 80.9%. And Ethereum is down 72.4% from its all-time high. Bitcoin, I suppose, is the best performer in terms of this metric. It's only 41.5% away from its all-time high of just shy of $20,000 back in late 2017. So just to kind of put things in perspective, guys, we talk about different trends. We talk about, obviously, enthusiasm and exuberance in the market. Even though things are going well right now, it just stands to reason that we're going to continue to climb eventually. Again, there will be some negative days, and I guess today happens to be one of those. But overall, there's still a lot of positive movement. There's a very positive direction that we're going to be moving in. And that's without even talking about the fact that eventually we will be reaching new all-time highs for most, if not all, of these projects. At least that is my opinion. And speaking of projects to be excited about, Alexander Dreyfus here representing Chiliz, CHZ. By the way, that is up 8.6 on the day, 8.6%. So something's going pretty well here. Here's what Alexander has to say. Breaking, it's official. The 4 fan token offering, FTOs, will start on the 25th of August. Save the date. The name of the 4 teams participating will be disclosed during the live keynote AMA in 7 days, the 18th of August. Then we will announce more teams and more FTOs. Chiliz, CHZ, again up 8.6% on the day to about 1.5 cents US. Obviously, people getting behind some of this positive news. This is a very nice performance boost here in an otherwise down market. So kudos to Alexander Dreyfus and the Chiliz team right there. Kava is also in the news at Kava_labs. Kava is included in the list of 4 altcoins that could break out as the Ethereum-based ecosystem goes parabolic, according to a Messari researcher. You can read the full article below, and here it is on the dailyhodl.com. So Messari researcher Ryan Watkins shining the spotlight on 4 small cap crypto assets in the Ethereum ecosystem, and in a series of tweets, Watkins says the coins could be part of a new decentralized finance paradigm that breaks out alongside the second largest blockchain. Quote, as Ethereum faces challenges scaling and interest in DeFi goes parabolic, there hasn't been a better time for a parallel DeFi ecosystem to break out. So Watkins talks about 4 coins. They are Luna, they are Band Protocol, Rune, and for the sake of this article here, we're discussing Kava as well. So Watkins is also looking at the centralized lending platform Kava, K-A-V-A. According to the researcher, Kava employs an interesting monetary policy as the platform burns Kava when interest on loans is paid, which combats the inflation that comes with rewarding Kava liquidity providers and stakers. In addition, Watkins points out that Kava has lofty goals, including interoperability with the Cosmos ecosystem and the introduction of more synthetic assets. So again, those selections are Terra, Rune, Band Protocol, and Kava. And Watkins closes with this quote, it's important to remember that lower relative valuations do not necessarily imply undervaluation, and there are many valid reasons why these projects are valued below their Ethereum counterparts. So I suppose just kind of providing a little bit of guidance there. This is not financial advice, of course, and you have to make your own decisions when it comes to financial investments of any sort, but certainly 4 projects that are interesting for a variety of reasons. You can check out the full article here and the analysis by Mr. Watkins. We'll link to it in the description below. Kava here on Twitter as well. There are only 3 days left to get your crypto payday. Last week, $208,000 was distributed to BNB holders. Every week, the Kava blockchain compensates USDX minters with 74,000 Kava. DeFi rewards users. Learn more and get paid. You can check out more here with the link that's provided. And finally here for today, guys, this update by Logino Dujardin at Logino D. Quick update. Today I signed a contract which I believe will benefit us tremendously. This agreement will place SHA in our DeFi solutions in front of the eyes of our 300,000 users across the globe. I am also excited. I have decided to announce it live on video in the near future. So effectively, this is an announcement about an announcement. Logino Dujardin is, of course, the CEO of Safe Haven. We don't really know what he is discussing or alluding to or referring to just yet, but hopefully there'll be something excited to be discussed as far as Safe Haven goes. And that's another exciting project that we're following very closely. We're eager to see what the news is, but we can't really speak to it yet. This is effectively a very Justin Sun-esque move, an announcement about an announcement, but we have no doubt that it's going to be interesting. However, we don't know anything more than that just yet, so for the time being, that about wraps up the news, everybody. Do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels, and keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell to receive notifications if you guys enjoyed today's video. Best of luck if you choose to invest on this hump day, but have a great one, everybody. Stay safe out there, and as always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.